Rakesh Nayyar, Executive Director at Supreme Petrochem. It was a good set that the company reported this time around, both on a quarter-on-quarter and on a YOY basis. And this is coming at a time when we've seen the petrochemical cycle seeing some amount of pressure. So it's been a good performance in a week time. So let's get the conversation going with the management, because they have seen an increase of revenues by 4.3%. EBITDA has gone higher by 17.5%, and profit growth has come in at 13%. Mr. Nayyar, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us. Well, that's what I wanted to understand. What has led to the improvement in your numbers this time around? Was it led entirely by better volumes? What are realizations looking like in the products that you manufacture?
Good afternoon. In this quarter, we had good volumes. On a year-on-year basis, our volumes were up by 27%. And in the first half of the year, our volumes are up by 17.6% over the previous year. This includes our exports as well. And this led to an increased revenue as well as the better profit margins for us now.
What's the volume outlook for the second half of the year, Mr. Nayyar?
The total volumes during the year was till the first 6 months are total volumes we have done in the first year in this quarter is 81,000, and for the first half we have done over 158,000.
No, I was asking the outlook for the second half of the year in Q3 and Q4. What is the outlook looking? The visibility on a volume pickup?
The overall volume growth for the year over the previous year, we would have around 12% we should have.
Got it.
Okay. All right. That is about the volume growth. What are the pricing trends right now, Mr. Nayyar? I wanted to understand what's happening in the global backdrop. For other chemical companies, we are talking about higher dumping coming in from China, their inventory issues. You had spoken about how raw material prices had gone down in quarter 1. Has that situation improved right now?
The raw material prices are right now range bound. They are now stabilized. But of course, with the ongoing war between Israel and Palestine and now Iran coming in, so the crude prices have gone up, and that has an indirect impact on the raw material prices. So going forward, maybe the prices will inch up. The raw material prices will inch up, but currently they are within range right now. And as far as the margins are concerned, global deltas had come down as compared to the previous year. And so if you compare with the previous year numbers for the year as a whole, this year's numbers would be, the margins were not as good as previous year.
Okay.
What was the contribution of the value-added products to your overall margins in the current quarter?
The overall, the value-added products of the company, they are around 40% of our total turnover.
Okay. So similar to last quarter?
Sorry?
Similar to last quarter. I believe even in Q1, it was about 40%. So
yeah, so the same range it continues, at the same range.
So, Mr. Nayyar, what would the next trigger of growth be for you? You are looking at an ABS project. By when do you think it will come on stream? What would the total capacity be then once it does come on stream? And thirdly, what is the current capacity utilization?
Our current capacity utilization is 75% plus. And ABS project, it should be the first line of the ABS with 70,000 tons of ABS. That should be on stream by the end of next calendar. And the second line would come thereafter after some gap of maybe 6 to 9 months. So the total capacity of ABS we would have is around 140,000 tons.
140,000 tons. And at peak, what is generally the peak capacity utilization? Do you reach that 100% mark? Has that happened in the past, or is this the average?
No. The last year our capacity utilizations were pretty high, but then now with the new capacities we have come in, so our capacity utilization is down at the moment at 75%. But as the demand grows, as our exports grow, the capacity utilization will improve.
Okay. So right now, which is a better growth market for you, exports or domestic? What is the contribution coming in from exports right now?
The domestic is good. Domestic is certainly better than the exports. But exports also contributes.
No, of course it does. So I wanted to understand, considering the cycles that you've been in the industry for so long, do you think it will take a couple of quarters before we see complete improvement and back to those FY22 levels of FY23 levels?
Difficult to say at the moment. It's difficult to say. Given the global environment, it's very difficult at the moment to say about it.
Okay, take that point, because it's been quite uncertain, especially for industries like yourself, Supreme Petrochem it is, because of the volatility in crude prices as well. Mr. Nayyar, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a good performance this time around from Supreme Petrochem, led by volumes, as the management was telling us just a while back. We'll do one thing, we'll slip into a short break. We'll get you more on the markets and stock-specific action on the other side. Stay tuned for that.